Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back for your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as was the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, let's just dive in and let's start off with some wild news that has been going around. I wouldn't even say it's news. It's more so, there's a lot of people in the space that will fake information. They will go over a few things and they'll say, all right, well, Ripple is 100% tied back to this because it got mentioned in this document or whatever, right? As we really kind of look at a lot of things happening around finance, we do know that change is upon us. We know that it is significant change as well. We do know that the BRICS are expanding rapidly. We know that the BRICS are accumulating massive amounts of gold. We know central bankers are accumulating massive amounts of gold as well, all at a time where it seems as though the traditional world of finance is crumbling. And this is exactly what they want you to believe, because we are marching into the new age of finance. So we are going to see a lot of experiments. We're going to see a lot of trials, things like that. And one of those trials is Project Mariana. So we went over this one. This is CBDCs in automated market makers. It really kind of broke CBDCs down fully. It's a significant project if you want to go check it out, but it's nothing too crazy. Like, these are all trials and pilots. Like, they are not significant to mention in terms of, all right, this is 100% going to be the way things are looking at, because I've seen a lot of prominent names from the XRP community saying it's 100% Ethereum now. Ethereum, it's the chosen one. It's Ethereum now. Forget XRP, it's Ethereum. I think that this is the wrong way to look at this. But from JC Collins, shout out to JC Collins over on Twitter. This is an individual that has been putting out some great content recently. And we even do see, this is what I've been talking about. Nowhere in the BIS Project Mariana document does it mention Ripple or XRP. This is a complete fabrication. This account has zero credibility or integrity, but people keep falling for it over and over. The document does mention Ethereum though. Go figure. Ethereum is obviously the banker's coin. Now, again, I don't want to say for certain one coin is this, that, whatever, because listen, we don't know. There's a lot of pilots. There's a lot of trials going on. This is also why diversification is 100% crucial in this space. But we do see from this account, they're posting this Project Mariana, and we do see, boom. Of course, you gotta love that. Project Mariana refers to XRP as the international payment medium connecting Switzerland, Singapore, and Eurosystem centers together with the Bank of France, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and the Swiss National Bank for CBDCs. Now, again, this is the figure down here. Like, this is the part that they are really kind of looking at. We do see Ripple provides various services via the use of its native token, the XRP, which is roughly envisioned as an international payment medium or wholesale settlement coin. So it's interesting that this is mentioned, but this is more so from the Atlanta Fed, which we did break down. We talked a little bit about it, but it seems as though this might have been a fake document where they took the text from that document and overlaid it onto this one. In fact, I actually posted this document over here where it does really kind of break Project Mariana down. This is actually from Matthew Lin Y. The full document is posted. This is a legitimate document. The problem is that within the document that is getting posted over here, so this one, it's not exactly from the BIS. This is from the Atlanta Fed. So what they did was they put the BIS over this, and that's what they are utilizing this sort of document for, which is more so just for clickbait and for views. It's 112,000 views, 1,000 plus likes. Again, a lot of misinformation out there. So here we have from Crypto Eddie. She's saying, hello, did you make this BIS image or was it given to you? It's 100% fake, Photoshop from 4 different pages and a non-BIS document. The XRP text comes from an Atlanta Fed document, like I said, along with the image. Producing fake documents and images is quite serious. There's no such image or combined narrative from the BIS. They get shared with zero research and seriously hurt the retail investor. King Solomon breaks down the original source of this image along with teaching everyone how to research and fact check these unverified posts in his YouTube video from today. And yeah, again, like this is from the Atlanta Fed. It's an actual document from the Atlanta Fed. But the problem is that it's not from the BIS. Like, this is not from the full BIS. But again, there is going to be a lot of fake information that gets posted out there. I do feel bad for JC Collins because he did get a lot of substantial hate for this, but he was ultimately just debunking the fake image that got posted around. But what is not fake is the fact that Ripple did recently join the BIS, especially for their cross-border payments task force, which I thought was significant to mention because, again, this is talking more so about market infrastructure around cross-border payments. And I do think that this is one to really kind of look at because we are starting to see a little bit of movement on cross-border payments ever since pretty much this year. We start to see things move pretty quickly. And we do see the Bank for International Settlements recently announced a cross-border payments interoperability and extension PIE task force that includes blockchain-based digital payment network Ripple. And we do see on August 9th, BIS shared a summary of its PIE Task Force May 11th meeting in which it says that the members of the task force will work to enhance cross-border payments and meet the quantitative targets for cross-border payments endorsed by the G20. The task force is part of the BIS Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure. So yeah, I do think that this is significant to mention. I've talked about it in the past. I broke the CPMI down, which is the group that is tied to this. And we even do know that Swift is on here as well with Ripple, with the clearinghouse and some pretty substantial names. Now, what makes me very excited about this is the image that Brooks Entwistle shared a few weeks back. Remember, Brooks Entwistle is the SVP and MD at Ripple. If we actually look at that image, so we have here wrapping up several weeks on the roadmap, repping Ripple from the IFF in Kigali to the Point Zero Forum in Zurich this week. It is super encouraging to witness the open dialogue that MAS, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, pursues with the private sector towards the goal of advancing the digital asset ecosystem. This is 1 week after, of course, Ripple obtained its in-principle approval for a major payments institution license in Singapore from, of course, the MAS. And if we look here in the back, we can see, just so that you guys can see, hosted by the BIS, collaborating to deliver payment system innovations. And then, of course, roughly a month later, we got the announcement that Ripple was joining the BIS around cross-border payments task force. So again, I do think that's significant to mention this because although, yes, these trials where, Ripple is not 100% confirmed to be, a major player on, or if it's Ethereum, I want you guys to realize that, listen, it doesn't matter, right? Like, look at the other connections. Don't just focus on these pilots. Don't just focus on these trials. I think that, listen, if we are going to really kind of hate on people, I also think that we should also hate the fact that people are saying now it's 100% Ethereum simply because that Ethereum was mentioned on a trial or even a proof of concept project by the BIS. I don't think that it is Ethereum. I don't think that it is anything just yet until we have 100% confirmation that it is XRP. But listen, you can come to the assumption however you want. Everyone has their own coin that they're going to choose. But in my opinion, I do think that it is worth mentioning that, Ripple has been collaborating with the BIS in a few of these group meetings. We know that they've been holding private meetings with central bankers forever. I mean, you guys know the image that circulated around in 2017, 2018 with the ECB president. You had IMF directors there. I think you even had people from the BIS there as well. Listen, Ripple has been closely tied to some substantial names in the past. Everyone looks at Ethereum as a chosen one, but I just don't necessarily believe that just yet. Of course, I could be wrong, but to me personally, I still believe in what Ripple is doing, and I also believe in what XRP is providing to Ripple in terms of a very powerful digital asset. And also over here from Crypto Eddie, yet again, we do see Monetary Authority of Singapore finalized stablecoin regulations framework. Comments from Ripple, SBI, Circle published framework aims to use of stablecoins as a credible digital medium of exchange and as a bridge between the fiat and digital asset ecosystems. And I thought that this was worth mentioning because we did mention it in a video just recently. And I just want you guys to understand that the Monetary Authority of Singapore is moving pretty quickly, especially on global stablecoins. Remember, stablecoins right now are the big hit. They've been talked about quite heavily around regulations. And remember when I said in a video, I think that it might be on my second channel actually, where I was talking about this executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets. I believe it's 14067. I might be wrong on that, but this is from March 9th of 2022. And the reason why I bring this back up is because we do also know that within this, they are talking about stablecoin regulations heavily. We know that stablecoins are moving pretty quickly, but guess what else? When we look at this executive order, one name comes up, and that is the FSB, the Financial Stability Board. And we do see the International Financial Stability Board, the FSB, together with standard-setting bodies, is leading work on issues related to stablecoins, cross-border funds transfers and payments, and other international dimensions of digital assets and payments, while the FATF continues its leadership in setting CFT standards for digital assets. And remember what I've talked about with the FSB, and we even do see down here, like, my administration will elevate the importance of these topics and expand engagement with our critical international partners, including through forums such as the G7, G20, FATF, and FSB. But remember what I've talked about with the FSB. You know, if you guys really want some high quality research and information, I do have it under my highlights where I was really kind of talking about the FSB, tying it back to Ripple and XRP. I believe that it is on here. I might be wrong, but I thought it was under my highlights. I know that we did talk about Brooks Entwistle getting tied back to Ripple and XRP, but I also did talk a little bit about the FSB. So here we have it. So I said, in my opinion, the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit has been planned since day one, October 2020. Brad Garlinghouse, we're asking for a level playing field, calling for a single national regulatory framework. February 2023, FSB, IMF, and the BIS working on a global regulatory framework for crypto with a G20 soon to be released July/September of this year. By the way, that is this breakdown here. This is the FSB finalizes global regulatory framework for crypto asset activities. And that is coming September. We do get the next update from it. We also do know that they confirmed by the end of 2025 that global crypto regulations should be in place. December 2022, Ripple has the opportunity to comment on the international regulation of crypto asset activities with who? Oh yeah, that's right, the FSB. So we do know that Ripple is tied back to the FSB. We know that they were able to comment on the global crypto regulations of crypto assets. And this is right at the middle of the lawsuit. And we do see, meanwhile, they are still in a lawsuit and XRP is a security, right? Laugh out loud, sure. In the Ripple response, we see that, quote, yet again, level playing field, a global regulatory framework will create a harmonized approach to crypto and ensure we don't cause more fragmentation in terms of regulations. The lawsuit against Ripple and XRP was intended to streamline crypto regulations. It also slowed the technology down for the infrastructure and standards to be put in place. And again, you can look at this however you want. I do know a lot of people look at the lawsuit as a slowdown method for just Ripple and XRP so that Ethereum can get ahead in the game. We don't know, right? Like, we have no idea, but in my opinion, I actually think that it was to slow down the technology because I do think that the technology was moving pretty quickly. But also going back to this tweet, we do see, remember this tweet regarding Ripple and the SEC case. I broke down why I believe the XRP case was planned since day one. Now, days later, we get the finalized FSB recommendations on a global crypto regulation or regulatory framework. Look through the images / read my tweets regarding this. I find it very interesting that Ripple was able to comment / make recommendations regarding this framework while in the middle of a lawsuit. The best part about this document is that it confirms that the FSB wants to implement its recommendations worldwide by the end of 2025. Johnny Deaton 1 did mention that crypto regulations will take some time / even years and predicted 2025 would be the best guess. This is definitely interesting to note. And yeah, here you guys have the 2025 timeframe. Again, I included this in many videos before. The reason why I bring it back up is because we do know that stablecoins are now becoming a big hit. We do know that XRP was mentioned as a stablecoin in a World Bank document as well as with the IMF. And if we look at all the connections here, you know, I do think that things are heating up. I think that cross-border payments are ripe for disruption, which I've always been mentioning. Like, this is a $156 trillion market, projected to be $250 trillion by the end of 2027. So there's a lot more to look forward to. And listen, I don't really care if the BIS is going to utilize XRP or Ethereum. I still believe that XRP has significant value tied to it outside of what Ripple is doing with it. I think too many people rely heavily on Ripple to provide value for XRP, which I think is the same exact reason why we got in a lawsuit anyways. To me personally, I don't really care about what Ripple is doing with XRP just yet until we see mass adoption through institutions from Ripple. But even then, we might still be years away. To me, when I look at XRP, it has significant value tied to it, even outside of what Ripple is doing. The XRP ledger continues to expand, use cases continue to grow, and I do think that that is where most of the value for XRP will come from. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. With that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.